white guy, big dog, alpha male. Me, black guy, big dog, alpha male. We ain't talking.
America, this is Mark A back in effect. Mark A stay in effect. Mark A will always be in effect.
Life is a bus, so the service a must. They make you turn up your phone before you get off the bus and make you wanna go home, dog. There's nowhere to run, so you must sleep through day 0 to get to day 1. And 9 weeks later,
it's at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Same story going through outside. Drill Sergeant Faf, I'll never forget it. So, white guy, big dog, alpha male. Me, black guy, big dog, alpha male. And we ain't talking. All we think, they trying to keep us apart because we about to rip each other's heads off, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're young. You got all that testosterone, right?
Yeah.
So Drill Sergeant Faf pulls us both in. Excuse my language. He said, both of y'all poor asses are going to be out of this military if you don't learn how to get along. Because I know neither one of y'all got nothing to go back to. So you better learn to get along. So he made us battle buddies. And so we like two bulls. Anything he say, I'm ready to knock his block off. Anything I say, he ready to knock my block off. So I say, listen, man, I got a wife and 2 kids. I got to make this work. And he said, very jokingly, he said, yeah, we can get through this together, but I ain't listening to none of that jungle music, right? And I said, no, straight up. And I said, yeah, I got it. You're trying to provoke me because you're afraid. I'm afraid too. I don't have no white friends, right? I'm 21 years old. And so I said, let me listen to some of your music, right? I said, I don't like that stuff either, but I got to find a way to get through basic training. He let me listen to Midnight in Montgomery. Man, let me tell you something. It changed my total paradigm on life instantly. I was like, wow. Because, growing up, this is the problem of growing up in segregated areas. Man, don't listen to none of that country stuff. Man, it's horrible. It's this. But it automatically gave like a melody in my head. And I was like, oh, I've been tricked. I've been had. I've been bad. Yeah, but that song, and like me and him became friends. He came to my major promotion, man, and we just held each other and cried. But that's what I'm talking about. We've been put in these boxes by our parents, by our communities, by whoever, and we don't step across those lines, and that's why we don't get along.
Yeah, yep, that's exactly it. Now you said Fort Sill, Oklahoma, you went to basic training. Now, when you first came in the Army, what was your actual MOS?
I was field artillery.
That's right. What say it again?
Yeah, I was field artillery.
Boom, boom. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Boom, boom, baby.
Gun bunnies, baby.
Yeah,
gun
that's
bunnies.
it. You was a Bravo?
I was a Bravo, yeah.
I thought you was a Mike.
No, I came in 1991 right there at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Yeah. 429 field artillery out in Germany. That was my first duty station.
All right, yeah, because I was over there in Bamberg in 1992 to 94. 3-1 at first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was field artillery, man.
Oh, that's
field artillery. Field artillery will make you become a chaplain.
I ain't no chaplain now, but 25 big ones, 25 big ones, thank God I'm a survivor, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what's up. And so what year you actually changed over? Did you do the OSET or did you do
for chaplains? No, for chaplains, right? So people don't know this about chaplains. Every chaplain on active duty has a master's degree. Everyone. Not some of them, all of them, right? So you have to get out of the Army and go to what we call seminary. It's a 3-year school where you get your religious degree at. So I got out as an E5, went to get my seminary degree, went to Jordan, studied Arabic and all that great stuff, which is another fascinating story. So I went to learn Arabic and then came back in year 2000, where I was stationed in Bamberg in a field artillery unit, MLRS. So to go back into be a chaplain in field artillery, it was a godsend because I'm a big physical guy. We were working out, we were running, it was a godsend. Yeah.
What year was that when you went to the MRS unit in Bamberg?
2000.
Oh, 2000. Okay, yeah. I think was it I can't remember because it was a MLRS battalion across the street from the 4th Gate Ward. What was it? Warden Gate 4, I think it was called. The barracks is what?
Yeah, right. They had the engineer battalion right there. Had the Vardy. Yeah.
Yep. That's what's up. And then so that's what you did. And then from that time on, you just kept staying in school throughout the whole time that you was in.
Yeah, the whole time I was in, just went to school. Last summer was 25 straight years.
Wow.
Yeah, 25 straight years. I just refused to quit. And once you put something in your head, I just said it took me 25 years to destroy my life. I'm gonna do the next 25 years to build a life of dignity, respect, and being unapologetically inspirational. Yeah, so that's what I did.
That's what's up. Now being in the military, right? How does religion impact the military? Because there's like I consider the Army, especially the military, a melting pot. Like just like how it is in New York City. In the Army, the last few years. As a matter of fact, in 2006, I had a guy. I ain't gonna even say the name. But he was a vampire, right? And I was like a vampire. And he went to the field. He drank blood. I said, Wicca, I didn't know all these things. I was totally ignorant from all these things. I didn't know these religions, Wicca and vampirism. I don't know the religion. But he came out to the field one day, and he had those things that you put the IVs in.
Yeah, sure.
And he had blood. I don't know if it was blood or not, but it was whatever it was. But he was, sipping on the blood, and I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Right? Because the other soldiers were around, and I'm like, I was a second chief. I'm like, "Hey, man, I understand that you're doing that, but it's disrupting the soldiers. The rest of the soldiers is like, yo, hey, chief, what the hell is that? I don't know. So, hey, man, I'm not against your religion. I'm not, but what do you believe in? But let's just go outside the gun." Or when you go take a piss break or a smoke break, that's when you go ahead and handle that. You know what I mean? Because it was bringing things. So how
But so the military, another well-known fact, unknown fact, the military has 238 organized religions.
That's exactly what I'm going with. That's exactly.
Had 238 organized religions, and if you are a human being, if you are sensitive to other people's needs, again, let's go back to this principle. I don't have to believe anything that they believe. I got my own set of beliefs, but my job is to facilitate what they believe. I'm going to say that again for the audience that might miss it. I don't have to believe anything that they believe. My job is to facilitate whatever their beliefs is. So we had 5 pagans out in Fort Jackson. Right. And they needed a place to worship. They needed a place to, of their own so they can do their rituals. So I go into the commander. I say, sir, we got 5 pagan people that need a place to worship. I don't want to hear that SHIT. Get out of my office. I say, sir, it's your responsibility. You're the commander. Kick me out of his office. But, I'm a hard charger. And I'm relentless and I'm fearless. So that was on a Monday. I went back on Thursday. And so I say, sir, you got to get him a place to stay. Well, that's that chaplain SHIT. I don't believe in that. We'll give him a room. So I ended up giving him a room. I didn't have to do anything for them. We perform or provide. So I provided them a space. And I'm also a jokester, right? As you probably can tell by my personality. So they did their service on Sunday. And so at the command and staff, after I gave my briefing, I said, I just want to let you guys know we gave the Wiccas a place to worship. And since Lieutenant Colonel Battalion Commander gave them a place to work, he's the head of the Wiccans. He was pissed off. He was mad at me for about a month.
but you see, but that's
but there was some growth in that.
Right. Yeah. That's right. But but this, what's important about that. And this is what's great about the country, and could be the failure of the country. If my job tells me that that's my responsibility, and I'm getting paid to do that, and I know what discrimination feels like, what right do I have to discriminate against people?
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I do my job, man, and I what's interesting about it? I got thousands of stories, but I was at JBLM. So at JBLM, they had just brung in the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, right? And so
I was around. I was around. That's when I seen you. I think that's around the time when I seen you.
That's when you see me. So these two ladies, they couldn't get any counseling on post because they had gotten married, right? I wasn't aware of it. So the sergeant major who was in 593rd, he said, I know somebody who will counsel you guys. And so he called me. He said, Shabazz, hey, we got 2 females. Nobody won't counsel them. You got time? I said, I'll make time. So I go over. They come over. We sat down with them about an hour. I sat down with them about an hour, helped them out with whatever they needed help with, hugged them both, and they went on about their life. Now, a month later, I became the first Muslim chaplain in the United States Army history to take a division, right? Mm-hmm. So the story is not me taking a division. The story is, if you go back to the website, all the people who are under there saying he's a demon, we need to find out where he is, we're going to kill him in the pulpit, da, da, da. I mean, they were saying some nasty stuff. Now, the point of this story is, these 2 women that nobody would help, I helped. I never said anything on those websites. They were in there fighting to the death for me. Like, yeah. They was like, he a good man. He just counseled us. You leave him alone. You come anywhere near him, I'm going to kill you. I'm like... But it goes back to the principle of just helping people. And they became warriors for me, where I didn't even have to fight my own battles.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, and that's something that I've witnessed myself being a leader in the military, in the Army. Like, you don't have to say a word. Like, your presence and your formations or what you do will speak for you. You know what I mean? It's nothing to be validated. I don't need to tell you everything. Yeah. You just pay attention. Just pay attention. That's right. What it's about. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to question is, how does a military personnel affected by different religions in an organization, in the military organization?
It's a lot of ways they could be affected, but I think, when we talk about emotional intelligence, we talk about maturity, we're talking about just what we just spoke about. It's not your belief, it's theirs, right? And so what a leader needs to do is understand, if I got 10 people in my section, what I need to do, first of all, I need to do a query of everybody's religion, right? And then, based upon that, I need to have a real personal talk with them, because we go to the field, or we, doing office stuff. We need to see how that's going to mesh and how it's going to affect everybody. Most people are afraid to do that because nobody likes to be confrontational. And it's not confrontational. I think it's advantageous to understand why people do things, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you understand that, now, as a leader, I can navigate that space. Like you said, the brother who was drinking blood. So if I know that's his belief, then guess what? I can set up a time where he gets to do that and other soldiers not around. But if he just springs that on me because I'm afraid to talk to him, see, now we have a problem, right? Yeah. I got a problem. He got a problem because he thinks I'm discriminating against him. I don't want him to practice. So, one of the things is you get out in front of that as a leader. You can't be afraid to do that. But obviously there are going to be some problems if you don't do that.
Yep, and that's something, that was one of the things that I've learned as far, I think when I was a platoon sergeant on up. The first thing I normally do is I look at the soldiers' SRB. Now it's SRB. Back in the day it was ERB, right? And I will always look at like what they've done, what positions they had, so I could put them in suit. But I also look at their family, if they have family, if they're married, if they have children. I also look at their religion. That's one of the things that I've always paid attention to, because I know it's not saying catering to them, right? It's just basically allowing that person to practice what they need, like whatever they need,
Yeah,
but also encouraging them.
Because religion is the makeup of people. Like if that's who they are, that's how they function, that's how they think. And so if you can cater or encourage, whatever word you want to use, you're helping them become better soldiers. You understand? So one of the things that the sergeant major helped me with, he had a lot of people talking to me. He had a lot of people telling me I should do right. One of the things that the sergeant major was successful in, he touched my heart. And you know how he touched my heart? Because he knew I was a Muslim. But when I was around my family, he didn't call me private. He called me Mr. He touched my heart. When I was around my wife, because we all men, right? When I was around my family and my kids, he called me Mr. When he came over to the house, he would call me Mr. Even though the Army says I was a private, that connotation sometimes is something that is seen upon as kind of dumb. What's the word? Derogatory. He understood that. And I gathered a leadership principle from that. When I'm talking to my subordinates around that family, I never called them by their rank. I mean, what a principle he taught me without even saying anything. He made me feel, even though I didn't feel like one, like a man around my family.
It's putting a humanizing element in.
That's right. Absolutely. Humanizing element. Because he's a sergeant major. He the top of the game. He could have made a move on my wife. He could have said that I was worthless. He could have said, oh, he's just a private. Look at me, I'm a sergeant major. He could have spent the whole night being derogatory to me. But he didn't. He treated me like a man in front of my wife and my children. And I tell you, it changed something in me. I got to be honest with you. It changed something in me. So when you're dealing with human beings, no matter what their religious preference is, no matter what their gender, no matter what their sexuality is, you better treat people with dignity and respect.
I say treat people like how you want to be treated. Treat people like how you want to be treated. You know, if you want to be treated properly, you have to treat people that type of way.
TV time out.
So, Mark A back in effect, stays in effect, always will be in effect. Is the one who got me onto this shit. Well, let's see what it is. Nah, I ain't gonna be a bitch about it. I'm gonna get it.